Hi, it's Steph, and today's video we'll be installing a retractable hose at our neighbor's house. We're going to do a little bit of plant shopping, and we're going to visit 3 beautiful home gardens. So stick around for lots of projects, plants, and garden inspiration. So today we're at our neighbor's house. They had seen our Vego retractable hose and asked us about it and decided to get one for their yard. So George offered to put it in while they're away at a game. So
here's the hose, and we already scouted out a spot in the back with the owner, so I know exactly where we need to install it.
Perfect.
All right, so this is the spot right here, this concrete section that we discussed with the homeowner. As you can see, they have a long hose right there. So installing this hose reel is gonna clean up this area, and it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm gonna unbox and get to it.
Forward more. Yeah, that's actually right in front of you. Yep.
All right, so now I'm gonna do a dry mount just to make sure we're not gonna crash into anything. So if I mount it right here, yeah, we should be fine. So I measured in between this area, and now I'm using my level to make sure I'm level, and I'm marking the 4 holes on this bracket. So mounting these hose reels can be done in multiple ways. Many people use a 4x4 post like you would use for a mailbox. In this case, we're gonna be drilling into concrete, and they do provide some anchors and some hardware, but because I have a stock of these at home, I'm going to go with this wedge anchor. And we did an install video last year. We went in depth and explained how to use all this and the different sizes, but this fits perfectly in this bracket. So we're gonna go with this today to mount this in the concrete. Decided to use these wedge anchors. One thing that I'll offer as a tip is when you're starting to bang them in, just use this bracket as a guide to make sure that you don't tap them in too far. All right, so I've just added all the quick connect ends on the hose nozzles, and we'll just click it in and try this out. Turn it on, and it comes with a 9 spray nozzle. Oh. And now I'll swap this one out. And we also have this one that's like a high flow. This is like for cleaning a deck or a patio or something. All right, so let's test out the hose. This is a 100-foot length. All right, let's get it back in. And you always want to walk in the hose reel. Never just let it go. That's it. All right, so that's it for this install. As you can see, it wasn't too bad, and it's a lot neater than the traditional hose. If you are interested in a Vego hose reel, we did an in-depth review last year where we did 2 mounting options. If you want to check that out, we'll have it linked below. And we also usually have a Hooked and Rooted exclusive promo code down in the description and the pinned comment.
George, we never get to see our yard from this perspective. It's so nice to get like a bird's eye view. Look at that. So there's our backyard. The lawn is looking really nice right now. This is the nicest it's going to look. It's been nice and cool. We've been getting rain. And then as the summer heat kicks in, it starts to get a little bit toasty. But everything is looking really lush and pretty at the moment. Well, it's been a few days since we installed the hose at our neighbor's house, and today I have the day off. And of course, it's gloomy and it's gonna rain. But you know what they say, a rainy day at home is better than a sunny day at work. And today my plan is to head to the nursery. In this bed here, I had some Blue Fortune Agastache, or Agastache, that didn't make it back after winter. I actually lost quite a few plants this past winter. And that one I really missed because it looked absolutely beautiful with my Rudbeckia, or Black-Eyed Susans, that I have have planted here. The contrast of the yellow bloom with the light purple spike bloom of the agastache was just gorgeous. And I'm really going to miss that if I don't replace them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 for this spot here and 2 for that spot there, because last year was year 2 when they had already gotten so much larger and so much more mature that if I just start with a single plant, it's going to look too small. So I'm going to go to the nursery, see if I can grab 4 of those and see what else we can find. I have my rain boots on, so we are ready to do some plant shopping. We are at Sylvan Nursery in Westport, Massachusetts, and they have retail hours on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Look at this beautiful dappled willow tree. They always have such beautiful things here, and of course they have some of these eclipse hydrangeas. Look how gorgeous. That dark foliage. Such a stunner. And look at these beauties. The Summer Crush by Endless Summer. So pretty. Now these are reblooming hydrangeas. They're also pretty compact. This variety gets to be 18 to 36 inches tall and wide. So nice and small, can be tucked into a large garden or a small garden. And then I'm not sure what that is behind it. Almost looks like a type of bamboo, but nice and bright in that chartreuse color. And then on this side, of course, they have some sweet tea heucherella. So these are more part shade plant. That is gorgeous. And the Itea. This one's Henry's Garnet. Now these get these really pretty bottle brush type blooms right now, and they have a nice fragrance and they get fall color. So a couple of seasons of interest out of these. This is a spirea. Look at that. It's got such a fine texture and an upright growth habit, which is different than the spireas we see that are normally like in a rounded, mounded habit. It's called Thunbergi Ogon, Mellow Yellow Spirea White. Very interesting. And then, of course, tons of beautiful astilbe. Oh, it looks really pretty with that coreopsis. The coreopsis is going to need sun, and the astilbe is traditionally a part sun, part shade plant. So maybe 4 hours of morning sun, but it can also handle pretty deep shade and still bloom. The coreopsis is early sunrise. It's kind of a frilly one. Here at Sylvan, they posted about these Coastal Neighbors garden tours that are happening on June 25th. So if you are local to Westport, Mass, Little Compton, Tiverton, Rhode Island, this is a great event. I'm actually volunteering at it. Some beautiful gardens to be seen. Look at this gorgeous climbing hydrangea that they have along this rock wall. When we were at Elizabeth's garden just a few days ago, she had one of these growing along the side of her white fence, and it was also growing horizontally. So climbing hydrangeas, not only can they grow climbing up vertically, like up the trunk of a tree or up a chimney, but look, they can also grow horizontally, and this one is gorgeous. We've come to this nursery together a few times. Look at all these beautiful golden evergreens. I see some hinokis back there. Such a beautiful way to add a pop of color in a landscape, especially over the winter when all of our perennials are dormant. And here we are at all of the hoop houses, and I'm looking for the Blue Fortune Agastache. Now, I am short on time because I'm going to a meeting for that Coastal Neighbors volunteering that I'm doing for the local garden tours. So I'm just gonna kind of peruse real quickly, but look how beautiful. I love spending a few hours here anytime that I come because they have so much variety. If there's anything you're looking for, Sylvan's gonna have it. Look at this, gorgeous, some coneflowers. This coneflower is huge. Look at that. What variety is this? White swan, I grew some white swan in my garden from seed. It is gorgeous. My guess is that the agastache is going to be in this area with like the salvias. Look at this, some more coreopsis, some campanella. This one's called Tachyon Blue or Taquan Blue. Yeah, Taquan Blue Campanella. This is some Agastaki blue boa. Gorgeous color. And then let's see. There is some more here. Which variety is this? Blue Fortune. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And it's not in bloom yet, which is perfect. That way it will bloom for me in my garden, hopefully alongside my black-eyed Susans. And then there's this pretty color as well. Which one is this one? Stackies, Homelo, and I think it's called Betony. Also really beautiful. There's just something about these vertical interest plants that have this spike profile that I really love. Oh, and look at this. Some Euryngenium. This is also a really cool plant. Starting to color up blue. Isn't that awesome? This is so pretty. I have some Euryngenium in my garden growing as well, but it's a lot taller than this one. This one seems like it's going to be nice and sturdy and upright. Looks like it stands about 3 feet or so in height. Let's check out the variety. It is called Euryngenium Big Blue. All right, I tagged my plants, but let me show you a really pretty Coreopsis that I just came across. This is gorgeous. Look at this. It's called Coreopsis Enchanted Eve. It has like this kind of a mauve coloring to it with a little bit of a golden yellow. Really pretty. And I'm hitching a ride back to the office to check out with my plants. What do you think the chances are that they'll let me drive one of these?
Low.
Low?
Yeah.
Come on. Well, I might not be driving the car anytime soon, but it was fun to get a ride in it. I mentioned briefly when I was at the nursery that I had volunteered for the Coastal Neighbors Garden Tour, which is happening on June 25th. And so I had taken the day off today to go to the orientation session for the garden tours. And so right now I'm en route to the 4 houses that I'm going to be volunteering at. So I'm really excited to see their gardens. I'm not sure that I'll be able to film today, but being a gardener, of course, I always love to see what other people's gardens look like. So I am at the first location and I'm going to go ahead and meet up with my volunteer group. And I think it should be a really fun morning. We just walked through our first garden and it's a real beauty. Look at this long border. Gorgeous. The homeowner mentioned that in spring, the colors here are purples and pinks, and as it transitions to summer, the colors are more oranges and yellows and reds, which I think is a really brilliant idea. Have those brighter, hotter colors in the summer months and the softer pastels in spring. Some shrubs, some roses. There is a beautiful plant down here that looks like it could be an astilbe, but it has a different shaped bloom. Isn't that beautiful? Some rose campion. This is gorgeous. I really love when the swimming pools have the grass up to the edge. I think it looks really soft and beautiful. And there are lots of hosta in here that the deer don't touch because there is a fence enclosing the pool area.
You don't have a fence.
Look at this.
We've never had a fence. We bought it without a fence. Anyway, so because we put up the fence, this is all kind of new and recycled landscaping. Some of
What a beautiful woodland area with some Solomon seal, a rhododendron down the end there, and this really beautiful dogwood underplanted with fern. That looks like it could be wisteria on the pergola here. So gorgeous. Such a beautiful and peaceful view. Lovely place to sit. Libby, the name of that plant that I just showed you.
It's called Filipendula rubra, also known as Queen of the Prairie.
It is beautiful. It's a part shade plant.
It's a part shade plant. I got it. It was a little tiny. Remember how they used to sell the little pots of plants?
Like a 4-inch pot.
Yeah, for $1 or $2.
And look how big it is. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Our second stop is another beautiful garden. This reminds me very much of some of the gardens that I saw in France last summer when I went and visited. Little courtyard walk through. These beautiful wrought iron gates. And a vegetable garden. I love how they used some stones, almost looks like slate, to create the edges of this raised bed. They created a wall to hide some of the utilitarian things like grills and AC units. Some more climbing hydrangea. Beautiful teak bench. They look so gorgeous when they age, don't they? Here's another gate on the way out. And just look at this beautiful rose. It is so fragrant.
We'll have the door open. People, if they get tired of it's hot or whatever, they can sit in there if they want.
This is beautiful. It's like a screened-in area.
Yeah, and there's a fireplace in there, so during
Lovely.
COVID it was great because we could have friends over, sit across the way and do opposing sofas. Not worry
The
about
Westport
stuff.
River.
It was helpful.
And all of these beautiful climbing hydrangeas. Now these are growing vertically up the columns. This really cool perennial here is something that I learned about a couple of years ago when I visited Pennsylvania. It is a Galinia trifoliata, and what I like about it is that it looks very airy, like a gara, which gara in our area is temperamental. It's mostly an annual. Sometimes it will winter over if it's in a well-drained area in full sun, but this perennial here is a bit hardier and has that similar wispy effect.
I love the
Yes. Meadow, it's rose.
Oh, it looks lovely paired with this meadow rue.
Indigenous, or this is purple blossoms rather than white.
Bowman's rue is the other name for the Galinia trifoliata. Here is the meadow rue that's getting ready to bloom.
It is. I love it.
It's done well. So that stuff, that was there.
It's a type of spirea. I have a Semfall spirea that looks very similar. It actually looks exactly the same right now. It has a ferny foliage in the shade of green with these plume blooms that are very beautiful.
There was some garden there. That was here, so we just let it go kind of crazy.
It looks gorgeous. It sends out runners, so it's going to keep spreading horizontally.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of space and it looks absolutely beautiful in this
And I
setting.
love, this stuff showed up on its own, this Joe Pye weed.
Oh, Joe Pye weed, Eupatorium.
It's so
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It really is, and that's a late summer bloomer, so that
Right.
you'll get color on this border all
Exactly.
throughout the whole season. You have some hollyhocks getting ready to go back there, right in that area.
I don't know. I think our friend Amanda might have planted those because we didn't, unless they just appeared.
They might have, but also look at your
False indigo.
beautiful Baptisia.
So this has been reduced in size 3 times now, and it comes back just as
So
big.
vigorous. This is probably 5x5 in size. Look at this. Did it bloom?
It did.
Blue? Oh, yellow.
Got
Look
one
at
left.
that.
It was covered with yellow
The yellow
blossoms.
blooms. Oh, that must have been a show.
So what do they call it? False indigo. Yeah.
False indigo.
Why do they call it false?
I don't know, but somebody just told me, and now I won't unsee it, is that your yucca blooms look like asparagus.
I just
They
wanted
do.
Did you know that?
to export the old Skinner house. It was a wreck.
And look at this beautiful Bartzella peony. Gorgeous.
Pine Hill Road. And you're going to take
Such a beautiful garden.
around that way.
This is the second garden that we've visited today, and we have 2 more to check out. Look at these beautiful swans. Joanne, look at those swans.
Aren't they beautiful? Kathy Santos is in our garden club. I think one of these houses is hers.
And our last garden of the day, and I think this is going to be a beauty.
This is an absolutely beautiful piece of architecture.
Such gorgeous
I
Nepeta.
love this. I have
Oh,
a
it's
couple of these.
Nigella. Even the pods are
it's
so
self-seeds.
beautiful.
Yeah, but I don't have as many as that. I get a few that come up.
My goodness, what a beautiful garden. This is like a cottage style garden. It's a very English vibe in the center with the courtyard. So beautiful. There's some primrose in there, some poppies. You can see the baptisia has finished blooming in the back there. Some meadow rue or phyllictrum. Masses of this Nepeta, which is gorgeous. The bumblebees are buzzing in and out of it. And this white iris I have in my garden as well. It just finished blooming. It is so beautiful. And look at that meadow rue in the back. It's getting as tall as the windows.
I know that I have some rue that just went by, but I don't want that mine looks that tall. Oh, and they have a beautiful river view.
And some daisies that are starting to bloom. Oh, this courtyard.
It's a really nice one. They're not all, star-shaped. It blooms for a long period of time. It's very hardy and doesn't get...
Those roses are gorgeous. They look like they could be the new dawn.
Well, I've had new dawn. They're much simpler. These are really like powder puffs.
Let's get a little closer. Maybe the Earth Angel? Is that a climber? Or Edens? There's a clematis growing on the fence here. I think someone said it was a Betty Corning clematis. Pretty bell-shaped purple blooms. And a pretty gate. It looks like they put some chicken wire at the bottom to keep the bunnies out. And when you walk down the path, they have some really pretty Gara. It's a beautiful water feature at the end with the sound of water. It turned out to be a beautiful day to check out some gardens. The overcast is really helping things stay cool. I got so distracted by that beautiful courtyard that I lost the rest of the group. So I'm gonna have to go find them. But this is so beautiful. So much inspiration to be grazed by all of the different types of gardens that we've visited today. Along the back, it looks like this might be a shadier area because they have some hosta and some hellebore. And it looks like some lilies that maybe the deer have eaten. Very pretty. Lots of texture here as well. Beautiful screened in porch. And some pretty clustered pots that are kind of monochromatic with the siding color on the home. Very pretty. Climbing hydrangeas are a running theme in today's garden tours. Every property that we've been to has had them. Look how beautiful that one is growing up the chimney. I'm finally back home and I've had a really full day. We started off at the nursery to pick up this agastache, and then we popped in and did the orientation for the garden tours next week and got to see some beautiful gardens. So I would say that that was pretty much a perfect day. Well, today turned out to be more of a gardening vlog, a little of this and a little of that. I've placed my agastache and now I just have to plant it. And I'll be sure to share those blooms with you in an upcoming garden tour. So let me know, what did you think of today's video? What did you like most? Did you find the hose install interesting? Did you like going to the nursery, or did you love seeing the different gardens? I'm really excited to do the Coastal Neighbors garden tours next week, and I hope to be able to bring you some more beautiful gardens to view over the next several weeks. So thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll catch you in the next one.